Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope that you guys are doing good and are safe and sound during this COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdowns which are happening all around the globe. And I hope that this pandemic goes away soon and we are able to come out of it safe and sound and healthy. So I am back with the third video of my Zoom G3XN tone demo series, and this has been a long time because the last video was released back in February 2020. So it's been more than 4 months, but nevertheless I'm back, and in this video I'll be showing you all the parameters which I have dialed in to make that solo tone which I used while I was playing that impromptu solo during the intro of this video. So without any more further delay, let's get going. So before we get into the tone or the details of the tone, let me share with you all the details about the gears that I'm using today. So nothing different from the last video, the same Cort M600 electric guitar. This is a guitar which I love, and this has been my primary guitar since a long time right now. So this guitar is equipped with Seymour Duncan, not really Seymour Duncans, these are the Duncan designs which are designed by Seymour Duncan. These pickups are the HB101 humbuckers. These are Alnico 3 humbucker pickups, which means that the guitar's tone would be really warm. The guitar is connected to the Zoom G3XN via a 1/4 inch cable. We all know that, and you need to use good cables, that is for sure. And this cable right here, which you can see, this cable has been manufactured by one of my students who makes some really high quality cables, and some of the cables which I use in my rig are made by him. So the guitar is connected to the Zoom G3XN processor via this 1/4 inch cable, and from there I have plugged in a couple of 1/4 inch cables at the inside the left and right output jacks of the processor, like the G3XN processor. They are connected to my audio interface, which is the Behringer UMC 204 HD. The cables which are being used to connect the processor to the audio interface are the Bespeco 1/4 inch instrument cables. They are also amazing cables, I must say. So I have connected a couple of cables because I have a few stereo properties in the tone vis-a-vis the delay, because I am using a ping pong delay. I would get into more details about the delay and all the other effects in some time. So we are done with all the gears. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get inside the settings of the tone. Okay, so to demonstrate all the settings of the tone, I am using the Zoom Guitar Lab software in my computer. I'm using this software because it's easier to see all the parameters inside one space on the screen, and it's really vivid and everything. So, and the software does more than just letting you edit the tones inside your processor. It lets you see all the news which is happening in the Zoom world, and the artists who are getting associated with the company and them sharing their patches, and you can download the patches as well and sort of get it inside your processor. And you can also, I think you can create backups of your tones as well using this software. So you can download the Zoom Guitar Lab 6, which can be downloaded from the Zoom official website. So I am using a micro USB cable to connect the processor to my computer and eventually inside the Zoom Guitar Lab software. So as we all know that the Zoom G3XN allows us to use a maximum of 7 blocks of effects inside the signal chain. So we have exhausted all the blocks inside for this tone here, and the first effect that we are using for this tone is the Zoom noise reduction, or the ZNR. So there are 4 parameters inside this ZNR thing. The first one is detect, which is toggled at or set at guitar in, that is GTR in. Then the next one is depth, that is somewhere around 75 or 80%. The next one is the threshold, which determines that after what gain level of your guitar, the sound will go through the noise gate and into the rest of the signal chain. So when a threshold is set at a certain point, let's say here, if I visually have to depict the entire threshold scenario, so let's say that the threshold is this and the guitar signal is this. So the threshold is letting the signal go, right? Like the guitar gain is above the threshold level, so the guitar signal is going through the like the noise reduction pedal and into the rest of the pedal board. But when my guitar is switched off, or the volume is dialed all the way down, so the level of the guitar goes down and below the threshold, and as the level of the guitar goes below the threshold of the guitar, the threshold completely stops the signal of the guitar, preventing any possibility of noise. This is how a good noise reduction pedal or a noise reduction unit inside a multi-effects processor works. So the threshold is probably the most important parameter inside the noise reduction unit. So you need to know what exactly is the threshold that you might need. Okay, so threshold, after threshold we have the decay. I have set the decay at absolutely 0 because I do not want the threshold to have any kind of a release while the volume is below that threshold level. So I don't want the noise seeping in at all. So that's why the release has been set at 0. Okay, so the next effect that I'm using here is the TS drive, or the famous Ibanez Tube Screamer emulator. Simulator, not the emulator perhaps. So this is a very important ingredient of this tone, to be very honest, because all the girth and all the punch is coming out of this pedal itself, to be very clear. So there are 4 parameters as usual. So the first one is gain. The gain is set at around 35, 36. Then we have the boost function, which is toggled to on. After that we have the tone, which depicts the treble or the openness of this effect. So I have dialed it down to below 50%. I think it is set at 40%. And the volume is preferential, and for me it's around, I think, 81%. So this does my overdrive part. So the TS drive is a very famous overdrive distortion pedal made by Ibanez. It's the iconic green pedal, as you all would be able to recognize if you search the internet, and you'll be able to see that it's the iconic green colored distortion pedal made by Ibanez, which have been used by almost everyone in the guitar world, I would say. So yeah, I am also using this. And after that, the main part of the tone, the main ingredient of the tone, which is the amp itself. So the amp model that I'm using here is the Ecstasy Blue amp model. So the amp model is blocking, or rather occupying 2 blocks in the signal chain. So the first block, or the left block has the EQ section here, the bass, mid, treble and presence. So the bass is set at around it's dialed way below at around 12%. The mid is 47%. The treble is around 72 or 73, and the presence is at around 80%. Now moving to the second block, it has the structure, I guess STRCT, it must be structure. So the orientation of the output of the amp, it is set at high because I want the solo tone to soar gloriously, so it's set at high. And after that we have the, what is that, the gain. Yes, of course, the gain is set at somewhere around 50 or 60%, 54%, because if you put in a lot of gain, the tightness of the tone basically gets compromised. So a 50% amount of gain is pretty much sufficient to get that soaring lead tone, because the tube screamer is also contributing to the depth of the tone as well. After that we have the volume, again preferential, but I have it set at around 50%, and the solo boost is set at 3, and the boost is switched on. I just like the way the tone responds when I have like clicked the boost button here. So this stomp right here basically represents this solo like this that solo parameter. So if you switch it off, that 3 dB boost would go, and if you switch it on, that 3 dB boost would come back. So I like the way the tone responds when I have that extra 3 dB boost administered. Then the cabinet, it has a matching, I guess it's a matching cabinet, the Bogner, the BGN 4x12 cabinet simulator. Again, 4 parameters, the mic on off switch, which is, of course, it has to be switched on, or it's meaningless to put in this cabinet here at the first place. So the mic needs to be switched on. After that, we have the blend switch between the, what is that, the D57 and the D421. They basically mean the D57 means, or rather emulates the Shure SM57, the legendary microphone from Shure, and the other one is the Sennheiser MD421 microphone. So this knob would basically create a blend between these two, so I like it to be absolutely towards the Sennheiser part for this tone. So it's absolutely 100% or towards the right at D421. And then after that we have the EQ section of the cabinet, which is high and low. So the cabinet, or the high or treble of the cabinet, is set at around 72, and the low is at around 53. After that, I have a volume pedal because I use some swelling effects, and I like to use the volume pedal to cut the tone whenever I can, if I forget to do it from the guitar. So I always have that extra option to switch off the tone by just dialing the volume pedal backwards. So all the regular settings, volume, what is that? Volume is 100, minimum is 0, maximum is 100, and and the curve, what does that do? I never touched that. It's toggled at the left option. I've got no idea what it does. So it does not really matter. You can simply leave the settings unchanged, and it would work the way it is supposed to work. And after that, I have the ping pong delay, as it shows as a PP delay here. So earlier I was talking about the delay. I talked about it for a very short period. So let us talk about the delay a little. So why exactly am I using the PP delay instead of the regular one? It's because when I am playing the solo, I would like the delay to have this stereo image thing happening. So this ping pong delay facilitates exactly that, and for that reason I like this delay a lot more than the regular delay, to be very honest. So again, 4 parameters here. So time, feedback, FB, mix and tail. So the time is set at crotchet into 2 because I like to use the tap tempo button, and all the songs, like all the tones inside my processor are calibrated to the tempo that I use for the songs. So it's much easier for me to keep track rather than using the milliseconds, time. After that, the feedback, it's not that high, it's pretty low at around 20 to 25%, because otherwise the delay would sort of stay for a very long time, which might interfere with your solo, like for the next few phrases. It might pretty much interfere. So I like to keep it short at around 25. The mix is a little less than 50, it does for me for this tone. And the tail is switched on. I had explained how this tail button works, but I would not be switching off the delay anyhow, so it does not really matter if I have the tail switched on or off. Whew, so that was a tone for you guys. I hope that you could take note, and if you could not, if I was fast while I was talking, you can simply pause the video and write down all the parameters which are there on your screen, which were there on your screen a little while ago. And I hope that this video can be of real help to you guys, and you guys are able to find out that right balance of aggression and smoothness inside the solo tone which we all desire to have. So for all my Zoom G3XN user friends, and for all my friends who are not using this particular processor, the same kind of settings usually does the job to get a good sounding solo tone for you all. Because to get a great tone, you do not have to have a lot of elements, like you do not need a lot of costly gear, you do not need a lot of bells and whistles which are associated with them. So minimal gear, small gear can definitely deliver great tone, at least during the present days for sure. I hope that you guys can find out some value out of this video, and if you did, do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done already, and hit that bell icon, because I will be coming back with a lot of videos and a lot of content, Zoom G3XN content, other gear content, and content related to some other stuffs as well, some playthroughs and a lot of other stuffs too. So without extending it too much, I would like to say all of you all a very goodbye, and I hope that you guys stay safe and stay strong during these tough times, and everything is going to be fine. Don't worry, things will be better and we will come out of it glorious. Take care everyone, have a great time ahead, and goodbye.